Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to your new bonus reading regarding the planetary alignments. Each month, the planets affect us in different ways, so let's really dissect what each planet is doing for you, how it affects your central focus, but also how it affects your abundance and the opportunities that are aligning for you at this present time. As you can see, I have already aligned all of the celestial bodies and the planets in order, and I will clarify each section just to see what is going on for you with each planet alignment. Okay, so let's start with the sun for you there. This is all about your core self. It's about your central focus and also about the essence of you during this period for the next coming month. Okay, so the sun is all about leadership. It's about happiness, creativity, confidence. It's about your spirit. It's also about your self-awareness and expression. It's about following your happiness, but also it is about aligning what is your sense of purpose. And your core focus will be the Knight of Cups in this area. Now, of course, the Knight of Cups is about following your bliss. It's about taking challenges head on in order to accomplish something that will really bring you joy. So over the next coming weeks, you're leading with love. I feel like you're nourishing yourself in a different way. You're learning more about yourself because, of course, the sun is all about you, your core, your ego, how you conduct yourself in the world. And the Knight of Cups indicates you've been through some challenges, you know. You're a little bit sharp around the edges, but also you're someone who has a soft center. You know, I feel like you have erected healthier boundaries. But the Knight of Cups is about following your bliss, your goals, and your dreams, but also it is about where you invest your energy, where you want to grow. So I feel this is about you growing to love yourself more fully. It is about learning to be more comfortable within your own skin. It's also about you romancing your life a little bit more because, of course, the sun is all about the self. So that Knight of Cups is really going to help you, you know, really reignite that spark, that passion for hobbies or for a part of your life or a part of yourself that you feel like you've lost touch with. This is about investing in yourself more fully. As you can see, that beautiful rose there is about to be planted in the desert. So this can indicate you've been through some very challenging times in your life, but you've been learning to love yourself more fully. You've been learning that, you know, you've been going through a period of development and growth, and that you are someone who thrives under pressure. You may not like that, but of course you are someone who adapts to your environment. So you may be learning more about how you are really flexible to accommodate certain changes in your life that are thrust upon you, but also changes that you are trying to initiate in your life. As you can see, that knight is fully equipped with that suit of armor. So I feel like this is about breaking down the walls to self, to really open to your softer side and make yourself more available so that people can get to know you more, the real you, because you're always very authentic. You lead with truth, but you do not let people in as easily as you could do. And this may be because of certain experiences that you've had in your life, that you've learned that you've had to be self-sufficient, that you have to show up for yourself. But I feel over the coming weeks and months, you're really going to discover who has your back, who aligns with you, and who can really encourage your softer or more playful side out to really be curious to deepen relationships at this time. Also, the sun is about your ambitions, your sense of purpose, and whatever it is that you're doing, the rose is symbolic that yes, it's hard. You have to nurture something and give a lot of love and attention to this area of your life, and the thorns represent the challenges, but the rose is the sweet reward. So I feel like you're going to be super proud of yourself because something that has been very challenging is going to be super rewarding because you did not give up on it. You keep consistently showing up for yourself and bringing your A game to life. And that's in any area of your life of focus because the sun encompasses the whole vision of what you aspire your life to be. Now, next we have the moon, of course, and the moon is all about your feelings, the shadow self. It can be about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, the things that you aspire to accomplish, the inner wisdom that you have. And of course, the moon energy is going to be in your Knight of Wands. So this is about following your passions at this time. I mean, the moon energy is what your emotions or your subconscious patterns are surfacing now, and it feels very much that, you know, you're leading with passion. You want to reignite that spark, basically, because those two nights indicate you're very curious about what else life can offer right now. You may feel that you're stuck in a rut in some way, or you're exhausted with the same old patterns, and you just want to get out there, have fun, seek new adventures, and really thrive. You know, the Knight of Wands is a very goal-oriented knight, so I feel like all of your passions and your hopes and dreams are tied up in moving forward in life, advancing, and of course, being seen in all your glory. The Knight of Wands is a very passionate card. It indicates that, you know, yes, you're focused on your projects, but this is more about initiating action in certain areas of your life without fear, because the moon, of course, can be about fears. It can be, you know, those doubts, but this is about having more confidence in yourself. So just when you're about to be majorly successful in some area of your life, the moon really can surface some fears, doubts about what could go wrong, of course, but looking at your energy, I feel like you're going to transcend these fears and acknowledge that you have the power to move to the next stage and conquer anything that is in your path. And of course, you know, this can be that when you're monumentally about to make a breakthrough in some area of your life, there can be some self-sabotage. The moon energy can drain your energy. So when you're about to like show up for yourself, sometimes there can be that inner battle, or maybe even a fear of change or a fear of success that is at the very core of you when you're about to, you know, do something very exciting in your life. The Knight of Wands indicates excitement, and the moon can indicate a drain. So it may indicate right now that you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and it's really hard to go out there, have fun, and have new experiences because this responsibility is draining you, or you feel exhausted showing up for yourself every day, bringing your A game, and it leaves you no time for yourself. So I feel you may be looking at subconscious patterns that, you know, when you have activities booked in your diary, for example, that seem like a great idea 1 month before, when suddenly you're about to go and do it, suddenly you don't want to do it. Suddenly you want to cancel it, or you don't want to show up. It can be that you have that inner battle, that void between going out there and being really active and then suddenly feeling like, actually, I don't want to do this now. So you may have to override some feelings sometimes that the moon is presenting, which is to, you know, be very insular, especially when you're going to do some social activities, for example, or be a little bit more out there. I mean, these two energies can indicate the ambivert in you, moments of being an introvert and an extrovert, and how there is a little bit of an inner battle there. So you may be noticing how you fall into certain cycles of repeat, you know, that you want to course correct at this time. When you suddenly want to go out there and then you're feeling a bit more of a homebody, you may discover whether you actually want to be a homebody or whether you feel that you need to override this sense of you know, being cozy or in a structure or a cycle of repeat, or breaking out of the norm to experience new events, new cycles, new people, for example. Also, you may be at this time withdrawing, because the moon energy is to withdraw. You may be withdrawing from people who drain your energy, cause drama. You know, I feel like you're protecting yourself. There's a lot of protection here. Knights, they tend to wear suit of armors. So you may feel over the last couple of years that there's been a lot going on, of course, both personally, I'm sure, as well as world events. And you may feel like you've been on autopilot, but at the same time in fight or flight mode, because knights are always ready to take action. And these particular knights are suited up in armor. So you may feel that in order to be prepared for like the next big thing, you need to be constantly hyper vigilant or like ready to take action on something. But at the core of you, I feel like you're trying to find a way back to yourself, to reignite your passions, and to do things that you love once more, because I feel the world has changed and your interaction with the world around you has, of course, changed as well. And you're trying to find your way through that. Now, the next card is Mercury, and that's all about communication. So it's about your inner awareness, how you communicate with others. You know, some of you, this could be about writing down your feelings. It can be that you're very cerebral during this time, learning more about yourself, but also we have the Page of Cups there. So Mercury is how can you express yourself more fully with other people or communicate your needs with others. And of course, it's all about leading with love. The Page of Cups can be that sometimes you have an image in your mind of what you want to express, and people may misunderstand you or kind of underestimate you in some way. So this is about kind of communicating your needs, because pages are very curious. So it can be that you're learning different ways of expressing yourself. For example, if you're dealing with a very challenging person, you catch a lot more bees with honey, for example. So, you know, trying to be diplomatic or trying to lead with love and expressing yourself as fully as you can actually win the room or win this person around. Now, you're not using it as a manipulative tool, because a Page of Cups means you're all about your heart space. You are leading with love. You're someone who is wanting to express yourself more fully in relationships. So this can be that, you know, telling your nearest and dearest that you love them. Sometimes may have been hard in the past. Sometimes, you know, you may have been too busy to express how you feel to a person, and they may go unnoticed in your life. And some of you may actually feel that you go unnoticed in other people's lives, and that you are misunderstood, or that you're unappreciated in some way. So I feel this is about expressing yourself in the moment. That will really help you thrive rather than sit on something that festers. It's really important to live in the present. The Page of Cups always lives in the present. So it can be that, you know, you are reimagining how you express yourself to your soul tribe or to your family in some way. But also believing in the best in others is so important, because if we look at a person with eyes of suspicion, or we doubt their true intentions, unless you have a gut instinct on it, always go with your gut instinct. I would say that's very important. But for example, looking at your cards, I feel like you're learning to love yourself over the next coming weeks and months, and that you're learning more about who you are and what you need, and how to articulate your feelings from a healthy space rather than have reactionary kind of dialogue with the people who are closest to you. Because remember, the people who are closest to you, you often feel you can express yourself in any shape or form. And what you say really matters. Once it's out there, you can't take it back. So this may be a period where you're trying to really refine what it is you want to say. You are living your authentic truth. So that means you're being direct, but you may soften your words in order to be a little bit more diplomatic, because of course the Page of Cups is a softer energy of expression, and it is about learning to communicate in a way that fosters relationships rather than tears them down. So if, for example, you're currently learning to love yourself fully and you're in a relationship, you know, sometimes there are moments where we feel unlovable, okay? We may be having a bad day, or we're feeling a little bit doubt. You know, it can be that we start to think that people around us don't love us in the way that we hope. You know, it can be that sometimes we need to communicate how we're feeling rather than making someone guess at how we're feeling. So I feel like you are witnessing in your friendships that you need to be more direct about how you feel, because the Page of Cups is all about feeling. So I feel like, you know, expressing yourself in your love relationships or in your family or soul tribe groups there, this is about talking about your feelings, basically. I feel some of you, you know, you're a very private person, and you will be very discerning about the company that you keep. You don't let everybody into your inner circle. I feel like you may have a lot of acquaintances, you have a lot of friends, but you have your core tribe, the people who are ride or die. And I feel that for some of you, there's maybe only one person that you would really let in to your deepest, darkest feelings there. And I feel a lot of you may be promising yourself to express yourself more fully without filter, but be softer in the delivery of what it is that you mean to say, okay? You'll benefit more in terms of communication if you lead with that Page of Cups energy. But also I feel with the Mercury aspect, this is about expressing yourself when it comes to your goals and dreams. A lot of you right now are focused on your projects or things that you want to expand upon for your future. Some of you may even want to find love if you're not in a relationship. So you may find it really hard to talk to people because Mercury, when it is partnered with the Page of Cups, and it can be, how can you better express yourself? You may find that you're shy when you meet a person that you truly have feelings for or that you're attracted to. And I feel fostering this level of confidence and love for self will really help you as a knock-on effect when you get to that Mercury energy there as well. Now, the next card, of course, is Venus, okay? And that's all about love relationships. So this can be, what do you need to nurture or even understand in your relationships with people? Venus is all about romance, not just romance in your life, but finding harmony in your life, finding harmony with the relationships around you. It's also about expanding on wealth, building luxury. It's about attracting what it is that you desire and being open to opportunity. So the Nine of Pentacles there, you're a very independent person. Nine of Pentacles is an energy of leaning into friendships a little bit more, leaning into relationships a little bit more, because you are someone who is super independent. I mean, the fact that you got these two knights here that are wearing armor, this can indicate that you're someone who shows up for yourself. You've had to learn to show up for yourself because life has taught you that you had to be independent and, work out your own problems, or you felt that people were not there for you when you needed them most. So I feel with that Nine of Pentacles, you're all good by yourself, but I feel like you will benefit more if you lean into friendships because you are someone who is super independent. Nine of Pentacles can also indicate branching out when it comes to friendships. You may have your core people, of course, and they are your ride or die, but I also feel that, meeting new people just informs you in exciting new ways. So being more socially active over the coming weeks and months will really help you there as well. Now, Nine of Pentacles is all about getting out into nature. It's also about fostering diligence when it comes to your projects and being disciplined there. So this can indicate that if you have to go off and do your own thing, or you have to kind of like withdraw from friendships in order to focus on something that's very important to you, you must communicate it. Because sometimes if you are withdrawing in order to focus on something that requires your attention, sometimes your friendships may feel a little neglected or left out in the cold. So it can be that you need to just express yourself a little bit more because we have the Page of Cups connected to Venus with that love aspect. And of course, this can be friendships as well. It doesn't have to be love relationships, but it is about communicating your need for independence, that you can be there for everybody and be on, as it were, shining your light, because a lot of people love to bask in your energy field, my beautiful Leo, but you also need to have independent time to withdraw, to recharge your batteries, and to do things independently for yourself. Even if, you spend a lot of time with your family, for example, you need to communicate your need to kind of like go off and do your own thing. And it's not about them, it's about you needing space to explore. So I also feel that when you're in love relationships, because of course Venus is all about love, when you're in a partnership with a person, this is about two independent people choosing each other time and time again. Every day, your partner showing up for you and choosing you, and vice versa. And that, of course, you can do things together all the time, but you must also be independent and do things apart, because that also fosters a healthy relationship and a foundation of growth. It also keeps the relationship alive and really interesting, that both parties go off and do their own thing, but also come back together, because the Nine of Pentacles is all about independence there. So there's a togetherness, but also an energy of being self-sufficient. So especially when it comes to love, it's about recognizing that your happiness is not tied up within another person. Your happiness is also not tied up in your job or career or in your neighborhood or any of those things. Happiness is from within. And you're getting a lot of cards here about your sparkle, about your inner reserves, your energy, and what you love in life. So this is about recognizing that your happiness is not tied up with a label of things outside of yourself. This is about discovering more about you over the next coming weeks and months, prioritizing your own needs, but also letting people in as well. Now, next, of course, we have Mars, and that's all about action. It's about you taking care of business when it comes to your life and your projects. It's about your willpower, but also it can be a very spontaneous energy. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. Look, this is all about communication as well. Mars is about action and energy. So this can be, where are you directing your energy and drive during the next coming weeks? Well, you have that Queen of Swords. You're directing your energy to be more decisive, to be a better communicator, but also to come in peace. But you have erected healthier boundaries there. There's a dove right there, which is all about peace and harmony. But the sword is saying, do not cross a boundary, because I've worked on myself and I will not accept anyone, disrespecting me. So I feel your Queen of Swords energy for this particular Mars spread, this is kind of an indication that you're going to be a lot more focused, a lot more structured in things that you need to take action on, more disciplined with your time. You're not going to be procrastinating. I feel your energy is on your future. These are long-term goals when you get a Queen of Swords. So I feel over the next coming weeks, structure is going to work really well for you. But also, this can be a period where you are cutting something or someone out, cathartically letting go of something that no longer serves a purpose in your life. Queen of Swords is very abrupt, okay? And for some of you, if you have gone through a separation in your past, you may be healing from that, but also during this period, Mars, of course, it is currently in, it's Aries, Scorpio energy. It will move into Scorpio at the end of the month, but it's currently in Libra. So this is a Libra card with that Queen of Swords. So it can be that when you have emotions arising from the surface that trigger anger, it doesn't have to be connected to a separation. I'm just giving you an example. But, when very complex emotion arise, it can be that you're trying to find harmony in that in order to cut things out of your life, but also there may be some rage, there may be some anger, there may be some things that you're going to deal with, because Mars really triggers some of that complex energy. And I feel like you are dissecting something or being very cerebral about something at this time. And you're doing something about it, because Mars is action. So if there's anything or anyone that's triggering you at this time, I feel like you're really dissecting it, cutting it out, or being really clear about how it is shaping your life, whether it serves a purpose or whether you need to let it go. But ultimately, because Mars is all about action, it's about your ambitions, your drive, your ability to get whatever it is that you need done. Queen of Swords is a great card to complement it, because basically it means that you are being super focused, you're being honest with yourself, and you're not wasting your time. So this is a great time to get projects completed, be on to the next. But also I feel there is some really good news that comes towards you that helps you accomplish something at this time as well. There may be some information or documents that come through that you have to take action on, but intuitively you know which action to take. And I feel that there is a lot of purpose to you this month when it comes to your future goals. I feel like you're completing tasks to a very high degree. So you're directing your energy on being structured, on not wasting your time, and also filtering out people who are time wasters, or even anything that, makes you distracted or does not bring you peace. You're protecting your inner peace. That sword is there to protect the peace of the dove. Okay, so then we move on to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is all about good luck, opportunity, expansion, but it's also about growth. And we have the Emperor energy. So this is about taking charge of your life. Jupiter, this indicates expansion, shall we say. So this particular spread will ask you what opportunities for growth or abundance are aligning for you. And the Emperor is you taking charge of your life, leading and showing up for yourself. This could be promotions. This could be you being stricter with yourself. The Emperor is utilizing the energy. As you can see there, the pyramid is grounded, is reflective on what necessary steps are to occur for the future. And I feel with all of these cards, they kind of align, because it's like you're curious about how far you could push something or how far you could go with something that you love. You're reigniting that spark. You're being very independent. You're focused on your projects. You are someone who's structured. And this is the win. So the Emperor energy indicates your hard work starts to pay off, because when it's connected to Jupiter, I mean, it feels like there's extra luck coming your way or something out of the blue that is going to make you really happy. It's rare, whatever this is, but you worked really hard for it. The Emperor indicates that, you're taking things to the next level. But also it can be that, your luck is based on discipline or being structured, or actually kind of being stricter with yourself and owning your energy, leading with your truth, even leading with diplomacy there, but it's still your authentic truth. I feel there is also an energy coming out from the Emperor, which is about protecting your projects or protecting your ideas, making sure that you only share any of those ideas with people that you really care about or trust, because of course you don't want anyone to influence your luck there. But I would say Jupiter, it's a very good luck card, and it highlights with that Emperor that all the effort that you've already put into your life in some area, you're going to start to see the benefits or the payoff of it, okay? So I'm quite excited to see the Emperor there, because that basically means success, win, reaching the top, or completing something to a high degree and being ready for more. So I feel like you've taken action already on something. Now we have Saturn, okay? Now Saturn, it is currently retrograding. So this is very interesting because it means you're going to be a little bit more sensitive than usual. It can indicate that your limits are pushed, your patience is tested. So that's why structure is going to work really well for you over the next coming weeks, because your structures may be tested, okay? But let's pull a card on it to see what's going on there for you. Because Saturn is all about discipline. It's about slow and steady wins a race. It's also about delays, tests, and practicality. But because it's in retrograde, these things kind of filter away. So you may have sudden outbursts of activity. Some of the structures you have in place, you may slip into an old cycle of repeat. But also it can be that, you are tested. We got King of Swords. Now, King of Swords is your thoughts becoming things. It's also about being very cerebral. It's about taking action. It's about sticking to your path, sticking to a strategy, calculating the next steps. But also, there's some people here. So this can be that someone tests your mettle during the next coming weeks, and you have to be diplomatic with this person. But also it could be that you're literally being tested on your knowledge. Some of you may be literally taking a test. I feel like you're going to pass that because the Emperor is there, which means you're very knowledgeable, you're a pro at what you do. But also the King of Swords is you kind of managing rules, regulations, policies. But I feel this is you kind of like governing yourself, leading with your truth, speaking your truth. And King of Swords and Queen of Swords, I gotta say, this could be a partnership. So there may be some challenging conversations between you and a person. This could be a parent, could be a guardian, could be a neighbor, okay? But I feel like diplomatically you're going to resolve something there. And also, I mean, when you have Saturn, this is like what lesson or responsibility is kind of asking for your attention right now. And because you have that King of Swords, that's really about speaking your truth. It's about being direct. It's about saying what you feel and meaning it. And of course, you always do those things, but it can highlight that sometimes because you care so much about people or you care so much about your projects, you don't like to let anyone down. So sometimes you'll reach out or give more of yourself because that's how you feel you should show up, and that's your duty or your responsibility with Saturn there. And sometimes you kind of like put your own needs to the side in order to reach out and help other people. And sometimes that can breed resentment or anger or frustration. And this is about really kind of being so direct that you could tell a person if they need your help, you'll be there, but you need to do something for yourself first. You need to have a little bit more independence or do something that's prioritizing your own needs. Because remember, you have the Page and the Knight of Cups here. And this is about replenishing your own cup before you can help other people. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be there for a person. But sometimes you may, volunteer your services to help or try and accommodate other people's needs, even though it is going to be a stretch for you or it is going to disrupt some sort of structure or plan that you have. So this is about really owning your boundaries and sticking to your plans, and then if anything comes in as a plot twist, factoring it in as long as it does not derail your plans, if that makes sense. So that's coming out strongly as a lesson that perhaps you are learning at this moment in time. So you may feel that every time you've got a plan, life gets in the way and kind of disrupts that plan. Or perhaps you have written something in your diary to do for you, and then someone who's really close to you needs you to do something to help them out, or needs you to be there for them, and you kind of look at your plans and go, oh, I was really hoping to do this, but now I need to factor that in. Can I make it work? Will you end up being frustrated? Do you need to cancel your plans in order to factor in someone else's? I feel like you're learning the lesson of saying no as a full sentence and saying, you know what, I will accommodate your needs or help you out, but only when I have done this thing first. I feel like you're reclaiming your life here with these cards at this moment in time. Remember, the planets shift all the time, so this reading is for the next coming weeks and months there. Now we have Uranus, very unexpected energy, okay? This can be plot twists, sudden ideas. It can be, unconventional events or opportunities, but also it can be breaking free. It can be an energy of being original, being a maverick. Now, we of course do have Uranus, which is all about change and innovation. And this card is literally asking you, what unexpected shifts or breakthroughs can you embrace? Now you have the Four of Swords, so this is like the big getaway, taking good quality time. When you need to say, no, I need to step away, protect my inner peace, or have a rest, even at the most unusual times, you need to do it, okay? So I feel it's very important to recognize that Uranus is retrograde, and this can indicate sometimes you work on through burning the candle at both ends, or you feel completely exhausted and you may be questioning why you can't do something or why you feel blocked. And it's often because you're not taking enough quality rest or downtime. When you have Uranus, this can be you questioning your worldviews as well. Can be that you are going through an awakening. There's a revolutionizing energy to this, a revamping of your life. And with that Four of Swords energy, I feel like you are either trying to complete all your tasks to a high degree so you can have some rest, or you're trying to restructure your world in a way that gives you more me time. Because I feel like your lesson here, your change and innovation, is to honor your own needs or have more quiet time. Four Swords can also be that you're revolutionizing sleeping patterns at this time as well, but also recognizing that you are protected and directed. So if you feel like you've been like walking on eggshells or in hypervigilance mode at this moment in time, the Four Swords is highlighting that, you are protected, because Uranus is all about shocks. It's about plot twists. It's about, oh my gosh, this could happen in the future. Maybe I'm not prepared. Maybe I'm not ready. It's like you have to have a strategy for all eventualities in your life. But if you just put one foot in front of the other and just know within yourself that you're doing something that you love, that you're trying to shape your life, you've got all the know-how, you've got the talent, you are a pro at what you do, and you are sticking to your integrity and your morals and your sense of what you feel is right for your world, then of course it's going to work out the way you want it. That Four Swords indicates there's going to be relief and rest, and something that had the potential to shock you is not going to shock you. It feels like you are secure. I mean, Four Swords energy is spiritual retreat, so you may need to revolutionize the way that you spend time with yourself, connect to your higher self, meditate, or find quiet time, because you may be the sort of person that when you have quiet time, there's so many cerebral cards here. It can be that suddenly you're scrolling on your cell phone. You may be looking at lots of reels, for example. We all do it. It can be that you're not procrastinating. You feel this is your downtime to take a break, but it's actually absorbing information and knowledge, and it's not giving your brain quality time. So I feel some of you, this is really about getting into nature and having a bit of a getaway. That's what I'm seeing there over the next coming weeks or months. For some of you, there's definitely an energy of like a impromptu trip or spiritual getaway in some way that's coming through there as well. Now we have Neptune, which is all about your hopes, dreams, and wishes, of course. And, this is you looking at the sacrifices that you make in order to run your life or achieve your dreams. And we've got the Seven of Wands there. So this is all about your belief in self. And of course, Neptune is about how you can connect to your intuition or your higher vision. That's what this card is asking you right now in this position. And the Seven of Wands is protect your boundaries, but also protect your inner peace. This is you being more discerning about the company that you keep or the people that you let into your life. But also this can be across the board. This can be about you kind of like looking strictly, because you have very strict cards here, of what gets in. You know, what do you digest? What do you listen to? What do you witness? Who can like basically get to know the real you, or what is it that informs you, that becomes you, as it were, because we all absorb all the things that we surround ourselves with at this time. Now, of course, Neptune and Seven of Wands is all about pressure. It can be that you're feeling a lot of pressure right now, a lot of stress right now, especially when it comes to your hopes and dreams and your wishes, because that's what Neptune is all about. And you may feel that you do have a connection to your higher self, but recently you may have felt a little bit disconnected from your higher self, or it's harder to hear your heart in some way. And taking good quality rest is so important for you, because I feel that's what all of your cards are highlighting. There's this energy of like boundaries, okay? And boundaries are very important, but building a brick wall, not so good, because that means that nothing or nobody gets in. So if you have been hurt in the past, this is about redefining your boundaries so that they are healthier boundaries, and they are kind of like allowing people or situations in who deserve to be in your life. But if you have a brick wall where you're completely closed off, there can be blockages in your life to do with money, to do with love, to do with relationships, to do with career opportunities, for example. So this is about letting down your guard to the right people, the right opportunities, and the right paths for you as well. And I feel at this time you're learning that stress connected to your hopes and dreams is because you care so much. It comes right back to the very first card, which is the Knight of Cups. Now, of course, you can care about your hopes and dreams and wishes, but don't put so much pressure on yourself, because what is meant for you will never pass you by. So breathe, okay? Now, finally, we have Pluto, okay? And of course, this is about transformation. And this particular card in this position is asking you what area of your life is undergoing a deep transformation. And of course, Pluto is an energy of rebirth. So this can be you reigniting your spark. It can be coming home to self. Yes, we've got the Lovers card there. So this is about you manifesting whatever is in your heart and recognizing that everything is connected. Every single thing that you go through, whether you are detaching from certain people in your life, there could be a detachment here from friendships that you're outgrowing, or perhaps you are trying to disconnect from generational patterns that do not serve you. You may be reprogramming at this time because you're trying to follow your heart and build a life that you love for you. Now, this card, it can indicate that at this moment in time, your love life is going under a major transformation. So if you're single, that means soulmate coming on in. But if you're already in a relationship, this can mean that, better communication skills are coming in. If you have a partner, because there are two people here, Queen and King of Swords, there's an Emperor in the middle here. So this can indicate that you or your partner had a very strict upbringing, and that you're trying to unlearn some learnt behavior or unhealed responses when it comes to feelings, emotions, and articulating those feelings. So if you grew up in a household where people did not express themselves fully, it could be that you feel your level of expression has been stifled in some way, and you're trying to unlearn that so that you can actually be more open. I feel there's a lot of journey going on personally for you, where you become more open to opportunities, to expansion, to leaning into friendships, following your heart there, and also having some major wins in the next coming weeks and months. Now, of course, Pluto is retrograde, and it's in the sign of Aquarius at this moment in time. So that can be that, you are planning for the future strategically. And because you have a lot of calculation cards, it can be that, your heart is yearning for something right now, and you are basically taking the necessary steps to make it happen. but also you're getting rid of any superficiality in your life. You're leading with your authentic truth. And also you may be thinking about your social interactions. So some of you are searching for soul tribe members and you will find them. I definitely see here your friendship circles are going under review at this moment in time, meeting new people, having new adventures, going traveling. I feel some of you may even deepen a friendship with someone abroad during this time as well. But the Lover's card is about unity, it's about balance, and it's about following your morals. So I feel this is not only how you conduct yourself in your community, how you interact with the world around you, but it's also about looking at power plays in relationships, because of course you have the Emperor there, removing yourself from drama, erecting those healthier boundaries. But also I feel this is about you acknowledging that when you love a person or really care about a person, you'll always be there for that person. But you must not enable behavior if you feel it is in some way stifling for you. So it can be that at this time you're detaching from something in order to rediscover more about yourself or be more independent in some way. Doesn't mean you love the person less. It just means that, you're trying to step back and really think about a situation so you can either do the right thing for you or not get caught up in someone else's drama at this time. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful Leo. I hope something resonates in this reading. I just thought I'd try a new spread regarding the planetary shifts and alignments. So I will leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Leo, and love and light.